At Gymea Baptist Church, we believe the mission of God is to restore and renew all things in Jesus Christ. Through May Mission Month, the GBC community has raised over $3.7 million for more than 30 different organisations and 15 missionaries since 2002, which have brought holistic restoration and renewal around the world. We're choosing to be others-focused and on purpose, to join where God is already at work and to be big-hearted through our prayer and support. This year, our overall target for May Mission Month is $190,000, and here are the projects, places and people we've chosen to support. Baptist World Aid Australia in Lebanon. Mother's Heart in Cambodia. Family and Wellbeing Training Project in the Northern Territory through TIA Australia. And our GBC Frontline Missionaries. Today we're focusing on our GBC Frontline Missionaries. We have 8 missionaries who work in local and global contexts and are sent and supported by a variety of missionary agencies and organisations. As a church, we support the continued work of these missionaries and their respective agencies. We spoke to 4 of them over Zoom.
I'm Heather and I'm currently living in the north of England where I work for OM International. We are a mission agency of 4,500 people with 125 nationalities working with us. And my role in OM is the Global Safeguarding Director. About 7 or 8 years ago, it became very much apparent that we weren't doing anything in the area of child safety. And, you've seen on TV, there's been all of these issues with various churches and agencies getting into trouble for their historic interactions with kids. We didn't have anything in place. I was tasked with researching what we needed to do and creating a system and a structure for keeping kids safe. And that has now morphed into a wider role with adult safeguarding and also looking at things like grievances and anti-bullying and harassment across the organisation as well. The biggest problem that we have is, 125 nationalities, which is 125 different cultural norms. And we're also in 140 countries. So there's 140 legal systems to balance. My role is basically coordinating that across the organisation, so making sure that everyone has something in place that works for their culture and their situation. For as long as I can remember, one of the verses in the Bible that I have found most inspiring is the description in Revelation chapter 7 of the multitudes before the throne. And it talks about in heaven, every nation, every tribe, every people and every language group will be represented there. That has always sparked my imagination. Can I just say as well, Gymea, thank you so much for walking with me. As I said, it's been 30 years now since I first went to Kazakhstan, 27 years in full-time ministry this year. So thank you so much for your prayer and your support. I really appreciate you.
I'm Benjamin, or Ben, and this is my wife Manji. We're both in Central Asia, and we've been serving here for 10 years. We're both in education. So this year I've been teaching high school. And before that, I was teaching at the university. And in the coming couple of months, I'll return again to university teaching. Basically, our work is relationship building. We're building relationships and connecting people. We love to be able to share the full gospel, every instance of the gospel with everybody we meet. But the reality is quite often, we just build a relationship and we connect.
Well, we've been associating or working with this one particular lady. She's one of my close friends. She stopped coming to church, and it's been more than 3-4 months. She's just stopped coming, and she doesn't want to share about her problem, what's going on with her family life, with her personal life. She just disconnected us, for the past 4 months. But last year, she was one of the persons that we really invested into, and so this time again, starting from last week, she started coming to church, and that was one of the highlights. And I've been walking with these 2 mothers, and the journey that we share, it's challenging, so there's one of my friends, she has 2 kids and 1 now on the way. So she and her husband, they had a really challenging relationship. They were on the verge of divorce, but we prayed, we discussed, and we also suggested that they need to see a counselor. And after a month, now they get back together. And I won't say that they are perfect, but they are really now together.
As a school teacher, I spend a lot of time with my students, and I'm not just their teacher. They actually say to me, "You're not our teacher. You are you're our friend as well. You care about us. You know our life. You know our stories." So that's really good. Even though I have to be really difficult in saying, "This is your marks. This is your work," but they trust me to come and share about their life and saying, "Well, Baksha," which means teacher, "my father passed away. I can't do my homework. Is it okay if I don't do the work?" Because don't worry about that. That's not important. Now let's talk about you. So we get to share with them and just see how they're growing and journeying as well. We're not allowed to share the gospel in our context in the school, but we can share relationships. And I'm being very open with the students that my calling, the reason I'm here is to talk about Jesus. So after class we have conversations. So just seeing the space where the Lord creates connections has been amazing.
So we're Shane and Ruth Sparks. We live in northern Spain in a city called Gijón, and we've been here since 2007.
So we've been doing the same thing the whole time that we've been here, which is walking alongside the national Christians, because there are national Christians and churches here in the north of Spain. So desiring just to walk along with them and being a catalyst for mission, encouraging them to be making disciples who make disciples, and investing, I guess, in the people who are going to be here forever.
Every year we review that to see if we feel that God still wants us here. So we do check in on that. But originally God called us to be in this city, in this place, working with national Christians and building into those systems which exist, those churches and everything which will exist long after we're gone.
What we do with Christians in churches here in the north of Spain is encourage them to be reading the Bible, offering to read the Bible with people that they meet and people that they know, and then using the Discovery Bible reading Discovery Bible Study, it's called, DBS, the training that Shane's involved in. And so we've been walking alongside lots of Christians here for many years and seeing them be empowered to invite people to read the Bible with them and come to faith through their own discovery of God through the Bible. And being able to do that with national Christians has been super exciting for many years. But I think what's been very exciting in the last year for me is having some opportunities to do that myself. We've prioritised investing in the local Christians for many years, but God has kindly given me a couple of those opportunities this year personally.
So one of the challenges that we've faced over the last year is, having been here for so long and having worked with some of the same people for quite a long time, we've needed to recently shift a little bit into a circle that's broader than ours. And so finding those new avenues and working out exactly how and whom with God wants us to work.
We're coming to the end of our year. So just as you're starting a year, we're in spring and we're heading into summer. So I guess we're more focused on finishing the year well with the things that we've been doing. So that would be a prayer point, that over summer, that God would prepare for us how anything new or any new opportunities or refocusing He wants us to do when we start our new year in September.
I'm a school chaplain, but we are now called student wellbeing officers. I've been working in schools for nearly 12 years. In that time, I've worked in 4 different schools. Currently, I'm working in Woolooware Public School and also at Cronulla Public School. I do not have the opportunity to talk to people about Jesus, but I do have an opportunity to bring in volunteers that can do it. So that's basically one of my biggest roles in my schools, to talk to volunteers and bring volunteers in to mentor kids and look after kids. Yeah, I guess as a school chaplain, it does involve supporting kids as a whole. So it's not just necessarily about that whole spiritual aspect of being in schools. It's about the social and emotional well-being of kids. It's the well-being in general, and also to making sure that they're happy and safe at school. I've got plenty of highlights, but I think it's also to having a kid actually spend, like when they are going through a crisis or when they are really anxious about something, and seek you out. So I really feel like that's my job done. This year I'm working with the RAP team, which is the team that's working alongside our Indigenous response action plan, I think it is. So that's something new for me. So I'm learning a lot about that and trying to set up, spaces in the school that are set up for Indigenous students, but also yarning circles and things like that. So that's something that I'm learning about and trying to get people in to teach us more about Indigenous cultures, because it's a really big part of our area. Thank you so much. You've been supporting me for years, and it's just generally as a whole helped me to do those extra things that I usually do outside of work hours. And yeah, I just thank you for that.
For more information, go to guymerebaptist.org.au and click on the May Mission Month image on the homepage. Here you'll find more information on the projects and how to donate. Donations for May Mission Month are over and above our regular giving, and the last day to donate is the 9th of June. We thank you for partnering with us in loving our local and global neighbours in these challenging times to see lives changed by Jesus.